iPhone 8 Plus glass with no display. Where do we start? And it seems like most people have the problem of not knowing where to start troubleshooting these things. Well, lucky for you, we've done this before, and lucky for us, these display systems and backlight systems, they're pretty much all the same in most of the iterations of the iPhone, up to the 8 Plus. I don't know too much about the X yet, but so I'm going to kind of explain to you how it works very briefly, I think, because I've created many videos, and you'll have to search through YouTube for 1,000 minutes to find that one video that I talked about it. Alright, so I'm going to briefly explain to you how it works. So ZXW Tools dongle is a piece of software that has all the trace schematics to most of the iPhones out there right now that's available. And if you're familiar with the iPhone, then with the iPhone 8 Plus, then you're familiar that you know that these two connectors right here, this one's for the home button and this one is for the display and for the LCD slash digitizer. It's all combined into one here. Now that we've narrowed down which connector it is, how do we narrow down which display lines are useful to us and that produce an image? Well, you kind of have to go through the schematics, okay? I'm not going to bring that up right now because you don't really need to do that. I guess if you were really just kind of starting off, then what you can do is just start clicking on these connection pins right here, and you'll get a better sense of what they do. So if you click on this number 2, it says I2C display EEPROM SCL con. So it's some sort of display data line. When I say data line, you know, the I2C is a data line. EEPROM, I'm not exactly sure what the EEPROM is actually, but I know that it is necessary for the phone to boot. What is it? It's just a little small, little four-legged thing, and maybe it probably contains well, ROM is read-only memory, so it probably contains some sort of serial number, or some sort of serial number that identifies the phone. That's probably all it does, really. So something with the data line, and then it's a, you know, DISP is display. It's some sort of clock, SCL. Anyways, I'm just gonna I'm going pretty deep now, but let's just keep clicking on these, and then you can see this is related to the touch. So I guess you can pretty much negate everything else and say, okay, this is a touch line right here. This is a touch line right here. This is a touch line still. We're not worrying about the touch. Touch is a separate system. So another touch line, display. There you go. Okay, so we have 2 display lines so far. Another display connection. Display. And then, you know, these are also display. So you kind of just go through these and say, okay, which one are display lines? And then you click on all the pins here. Display, touch. You get all the way down here, and you can probably write these down if you want. This is another display pin right here. Touch. Mason is touch. Display. And sometimes, like for this one, you don't know what it is. But if you look through the schematics, you'll see that Mason actually pertains to the touch function. You'll have to kind of know that. But if you've done any touch IC jobs, you know what Mason is. And if you don't know what touch IC is in general, then you've got a lot to learn. Another display. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take a little while. There you go. Oh, disconnected. All right. Anyways, so what I like to do first is I almost always go to this PP1V8 display con, because that is really the incoming power line, which sends the power to the screen, which which triggers everything else to power the screen. So that's what I almost always probe first. So when I say probe, I put my multimeter into diode mode here. And this is gonna suck if I have to do this every time I create a new video, right? But which is why there's actually now I'm going to promote our course. All right. I mean, how many Lewis Rossman videos are there out there, or Jessa videos are there out there, and you know, where they've already progressed and they know what they're doing already, and they don't really talk about it in every video. Um, so you have to kind of go through and search all these stupid videos to try to figure out one little simple thing, like how to, you know, what is diode mode, and you know, what pins to probe and stuff like that. Well, the value of our course is that all of this stuff is contained in the one formatted online curriculum, 3.5 to 4 hours long. Everything's contained in one section. There's no searching YouTube. You can reference YouTube later, but you don't have to. You know, the course has all this stuff layered, step by step. So we're selling that sucker for $100 right now, and we put a lot of time into it. When I say we, I say that's really Tom from the Netherlands. That's whose voice is on the video. There's a little bit of my voice, but it's mainly Tom's voice. Anyways, that's the value. Okay, so diode mode. Diode mode is represented by this little triangle, horizontal triangle with a line on it. It just happens to be that this mode right here also measures resistance, and then that little volume sign is continuity, and that's really just testing low resistance. So it's really just the ohm meter that also beeps. And then that line, and then the curved line, that's measures capacitance. So you can do all that in the same button, since those are really the most common that people measure. Okay, so for me, in order to get to diode mode, you see where it says, I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor or not, but you see where it's got the volume sign right now. If I just push this blue button once, then it goes to diode mode. And diode mode, when it's open, it's OL. So so that's what you do, diode mode. Okay. So with diode mode, let me switch to my camera here, my other microscope camera. Okay, so now let's go to the display connector, and we go back to ZXW tools, and we say, where is this display 1.8 volt display line right here? So we count the pins: 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Ninth pin, top left. Okay, so we go back to the display connector here, and we say, and so we put the red side, red to ground, and then we count 9 pins: 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. All right, and this says OL. All right. I mean, I already know that because I've already done this. All right, but that's where you start. Okay, so it should not be OL, and if you really want to know what it's supposed to be, then you're going to need another 8+ logic board here, and you know what? Let's just do this. All right, I do have another 8+ logic board here, which I'm going to probe for you, and thanks to Ron from New Jersey, he sends me these nice boards. How nice of him. So this is a donor board right here, which perfectly working. It's just iCloud locked, and I can measure 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and this is 0.361. Okay, so that's a problem. It should be 0.361, but I'm getting OL on this PP1V8 display connection. And sometimes the XW tools, they have, sometimes on the left side here, you'll see that they don't have it on the 8+ here, but let's go to the 7, okay, and I'll show you what we're looking at. Yeah, I can't really do this for every video, but I'll do it for this one. So if you look on the left side here, it says connecting seat resistance. So that actually tells you the diode mode at the connector and what the readings are supposed to be. So this is a iPhone 7 here, and then if you kind of drill down it, you'll see these little red numbers right here, and that's basically millivolts. So it's probably the same pin. Maybe it's very similar. 6, 8, 9. Nope, it's not the same pin. So the PP1V8 line is probably up here somewhere. Don't know exactly where it is. Maybe the bottom, but it's here. It's definitely here, and maybe we can figure out It's definitely here somewhere, maybe over here. Here it is right here. PP1V8 LCM connection. So the diode mode reading is supposed to be 346 millivolts. We're getting OL. So now let's go back to the 8 plus. So we're getting OL. Now the question is, why is it OL? Now the question is, why is it OL, right? Why is it OL? Okay, so why is it OL? Well, you have to kind of trace. You see these red dots right here? Those are all the points that it's connected to, and you can see that it's connected. Well, if you click on net up here, it's going to show you all the points that it's connected to on this side of the board. So you can click net, and it's really just 4 points on this side. Okay, so if we drill down further, we can see that there's a capacitor here, there's a capacitor here, there's a filter here, and capacitors don't really have a voltage drop across them, so we can pretty much negate these right now. Now, if it showed 0, which means it's shorted, then we would say, okay, it's probably a capacitor. But the fact that it shows OL means that it's probably this one filter right here. Okay, so now let's go over to the scope here and take a look, and let's see if you guys notice anything with this filter. It's gone. So there's supposed to be a filter here, and it is missing. And looks like somebody probably tried to take this connector off on this side and just knocked it off. So not only is it missing, but it's also missing the pads. So I'm pretty certain that once I replace this filter right here, then I'm pretty sure that this phone will start working again. Okay. So the only problem is that I'm gonna have to do so either by using that little bit of a pad that's left there, or running a long jumper, which I would rather not do, but I think I may have to. So, but let's start with number 1 first, which is to use the existing pads on there. And let's see if that works. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to tin this thing. I'm going to get a little bit of flux, and I got my tweezers here. I'm going to kind of get some, I'm going to put a little bit of solder on the tip of my tweezers, and I'm using really small tweezers here, like 0.01 millimeter JBC, and so it's a little bit tinned right there. Not great, but I got it tinned for sure. Then I'm gonna tin this side too, so it's a little bit of tin. I mean, maybe it'll work, I don't know, maybe not, who knows, but I'm gonna try my hardest to make it work. So now I guess we need to find the value of this stupid thing, which it's a 240 ohm. What is this? 240 ohm 0201. 420 amp. Okay. So is that a backlight filter? No, that's not a backlight. Is that back? No. All right. Let's see if we have any of those. I don't think we do actually. Do we? 240 ohm. Actually, I think we do have them. Do we? Alright, so let me see if I have one. And then we will pop that mother on. Everybody's going to be happy. So I guess this is pretty much an iPad Pro filter that we use. So, okay, we're going to use a 450 milliampere one. Oh, this is actually 120 ohm. That's not good. Dang. Well, maybe we'll use the 350 milliampere one. Yeah, I think that's probably what we'll do. I mean, 0201. Okay, so that's what we'll do. So this is essentially just a iPad. This is an iPhone 6s backlight filter. You know what? Before I do that, let me just double check, make sure I don't have one. Now, let me pause this real quick. Alright, and so instead of using a lesser milliampere filter, I'm just going to use one from a donor board, and I have an iPhone 7 here. And if you look in ZXW tools, you'll see that, hopefully I have it here. It's going to be in between 2, 3. So it looks like it's that one. I should probably get some 420 milliampere ones, but anyways, looks like it's this one right here. So this is from a donor board, and should be plenty of them on here, really. So I'm just going to grab this one and use that one, alright? Okay, so let's get back over here. Everything is kind of tinned. I mean, it's really important to get really this side only, because the other side I can probably run a jumper to. This one, not so much. And it's kind of important that we okay, so I think what I'm going to do is probably just run a jumper from let's go back over here. So I'll just run a jumper from here to here, okay, and that will be that. But before we do that, let's just go back to diode mode again, just make sure that we're getting a connection on this filter right here, on this side. We'll do it on this side first. It's very, very delicate. Yes, we are, and I hope that holds up, but I'm definitely going to tack it on with some green stuff, but not 100% confident on that one, but we'll see. See how it goes. Okay, so let's just run a quick little jumper here, and hopefully everything is good. So from right there to right there, let's get some more flux, just a little bit. Don't really need a whole lot, so just gotta be careful. And this is shielded, so it's not a huge deal. It's not gonna, ground or anything like that. Let's say this is 0.2 millimeter, 0.1 millimeter. I'm sorry. There we go. Definitely not my best work, but it'll be sufficient, especially after I put the green stuff on. When I say green stuff, that is UV solder mask. Okay, so that's golden, and I think I'm going to cut this before putting it on because that thing is so delicate. So I'll just kind of take this and just kind of like poke it a little bit, and it'll break off. There you go. Okay, there we go. Put this aside. We'll use that for another day. And then we will tack it on here. And everybody's going to be super happy. Hopefully. Okay, so I'm just going to see if I can tack this back on, just make it good again. Okay, so that's good. And then I'm going to put the green stuff on. But before I do that, let's just check this connector one more time and make sure that everything is good. So red to ground, 3, 6, 9. Now I'm getting 0.286. Before I do anything, I'm just going to wipe this flux away real quick. because it is going to be prepped for the green stuff, which will hold it in place. And make sure you're using shielded copper wire, otherwise that's going to be grounded, and you don't want this thing grounded. Okay, so before we do anything else, let's just let's test it. Let's put our screen back on, and let's see if everything is golden grams or not. So I'm just touching the home button and the display connector, and then I'm going to plug it in. And we'll actually do it live. So, voila. And there you go, Apple logo. There you go, Apple logo. Okay, so I don't make this stuff up. It's not science. A little bit of science, but that's all it really is. Understanding the schematics a little bit, and there you have it. So it's a simple fix. You're at the passcode screen. We're going to test everything. Display is working. We're back in business. So, I mean, one simple little thing like this, you bring this thing to Apple, and Apple's not going to help you out. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, you need a new phone. Give me $350 for it. We'll give you a new phone. All right. But the truth is this: is really wasn't a huge deal. I mean, we can fix this thing. We can fix it for cheaper, and you can fix it yourself if you really wanted to. But you probably have to invest in money and tools. But it's very, very doable. You can also buy our course, shameless plug. I don't know if you guys follow Marky Mark on Mark Wahlberg on Instagram or not, but that guy's always promoting stuff on there. Shameless, shameless promoter. Anyways, all right. Well, thanks for watching, and follow us on Instagram at microsoldering. I think. You can follow us on Facebook, Microsoldering. Oh, did I mention that you can buy our course too for $100? All right. Take care. Thanks for watching my videos on YouTube. I just want to talk to you about our online video course hosted at udemy.com. If you go to microsoldering.com and click on store, while it loads, click on Microsoldering the full curriculum. As you can see, we have discounted the price to $99.99, and if you click on this, you'll see that it contains 3.5 hours of online video instructions on how to get started in microsoldering, and we're also offering a certificate now. So after you complete the course, just email us at support@microsoldering.com, and we will send you a signed certificate with your name on it that you can display in your store if you want. Again, 3.5 hours of video instruction. We also have a forum now which you can post your questions, and we will answer it as quickly as possible. It's a free forum, no charge for it. The course is $99.99. Just click on this link, and that'll give you the discount, because if you go through udemy.com directly, it's going to be $149.99. So thanks for watching. If you want to learn how to do this stuff, then go buy this online course. Thanks. Bye.